Okay, so welcome everyone. We are on session 55 now of the War for Crimson Rock. This one is going to be a very short session. We're actually recording it on Saturday at noontime, and it's just kind of a excuse me continuation of last week's session, just to kind of cap it off, and then afterwards kind of determine where we're going to go next. I'll ask if someone wants to give a quick recap of what happened, and then afterwards we can go into a little bit more detail of what's going on. So I will let someone volunteer to give us some details about last time.
I believe last time it was all fighting. So, but we ended up we ended up knocking unconscious Umak
Uma.
Thrall, and the cat person, the cat
Tobacco.
person, Tabaxi got away,
I almost died.
and Rachel almost died. Yeah.
That was bad. I have 1 hit point now.
So Ori rushes in, the fight resumes. Everyone kind of like finishes trying to focus on getting rid of the guards. Ori tries taking on Umag, and he basically like clocks her out. Like he goes into a rage and he like takes her down.
I set his suit on fire, and he didn't like that.
No. And then Dave threw a bean into the extra room, which
Two
caused
beans.
it to sprout. And then, so while they managed to knock Umag out, and everyone's just kind of talking over his kind of limp body, and they're like, "Well, what do we do now with the Tabaxi and the Int and the extra guard that are in the extra room?" So the guard gets smashed. The Tabaxi ends up jumping out a window, and I think Dave ends up throwing a couple of Molotov cocktails at the Int, which eventually dies. But as the Tabaxi's running out, Mikage hears that she's escaped out of a window. She jumps through the window and starts chasing down the Tabaxi. Meanwhile, poor Ori's still on the floor, and no one's thought to revive her. So as Mikage eventually attempts to like throw her walking stick at the Tabaxi, but it misses and she escapes. So Mikage comes back to them finally waking Ori up and a room on fire, and is just kind of like, okay, I guess we're doing this now.
That meme of the guy walking into the entire place on fire and everyone panicking, that was you.
Yes. What was that?
Oh, Community.
Community, yeah.
Yeah, it took me a second. I was like, which one? He's on fire? No, the place is on fire. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that was totally Troy running in. That was a great one. What was it? Oh,
Yeah, he's got like the pizza in his hand.
that was such a great episode. Oh my goodness.
Oh, and I got in by promising the 2 guards a nice little cut of a business venture that is obviously not happening, and one of them had to use their toes to continue counting. So proud of him for getting through it.
Are they still standing outside, by the way, while all this is going on?
As far as we know, they're hanging out outside. I'm sure they're like, yeah, this shit happens sometimes.
Okay.
Stand here.
I imagine the entire place is about to burn down too, because it's not like the fire would be contained within one room, but yeah.
I'm sure they've taken a few steps back.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're like, Umak's done some crazy shit here. We've seen it all before. We'll just take a few steps, go in if it really starts to entirely catch fire.
Yeah, y'all pretty much nailed it. That's awesome. So I love all the extra information. All right, so let's kick it off. Let's move everybody to Bog True Finance. Okay, I'll go ahead and unpause it. So at this point right now, just like you said, so Bog True he's not dead. I'm sorry, let me change his thing. He is unconscious at this point. You've knocked him unconscious into the barrels. Fire is somewhat settling or so, but still kind of kindling. The treant is dead. Looks like most threats are gone for the most part. However, the office is just torn apart, right? Thanks to you guys. You've got Umok still sitting there, kind of trying to, he's knocked out, and Mikage comes rushing back in.
Whoa, Samad.
Oh,
I
whoa.
did not realize you had a
Oh man,
huge
you're a
wall.
Backstreet Boy now. Oh my god. I like it.
I like it. I like it. I approve.
It's really good, but it was so unexpected. Wait, is this new? I think you have dyed your hair before, right?
Or you're muted. We can't hear you.
It was blue once, right?
It was blue.
Blue, yeah. So I'm like redoing a color, so I have to bleach it. So it's like temporary, so I don't lose my hair. So
I like
I have to keep it for like a month, right? Because I can only bleach it like every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
What
You
color?
don't want
What color are you gonna dye next?
I don't know. Purple?
All right.
to. Nice.
Whoa.
Is this shell approved?
Oh yeah, I got the job when it was blue.
Oh, you did.
I interviewed blue. Yeah.
Hey, you're gonna match Pan, your character.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
true.
He's got purple hair.
I like it.
I love it.
Okay. All right. So at this point right now, Umok is he's unconscious, but he's kind of woozy. He's kind of in and out. What are y'all doing?
Have we hog-tied him yet?
You have not.
Okay, let's tie him up, because I'm pissed off, but very, very injured.
Okay.
Maybe not a hog tie, because that's just a little.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
I feel like he deserves it, though. I'm a little pissed off.
You go about wrapping him up. As the ropes start binding him tighter and tighter, he starts coming to a little bit. And he starts looking around, and you see him just get more and more upset. And he just starts yelling at you. What the fuck are you doing? Let me out of these ropes.
I'm gonna go over to the bar. I'm gonna take, do I find any Bacardi 151?
You find a bottle or two, yes.
So I'm gonna take some Bacardi 151. I'm just gonna pour it over Umok. And I'm gonna say, Umok, Bacardi 151 is the most flammable liquor that you have here in this store. I'm gonna put a little tiny flame in my hand. I'm gonna say, calm the fuck down, or you will burn with your building.
You see him start to simmer down a bit. At the same time, he just snarls at you. I wouldn't expect anything less from a fucking Tiefling.
You're welcome, bud.
Now untie me, or tell me what you want.
Well, we want to know what happened to Ori's dad, and so you should start telling us that.
What do you want to know about him? He's dead. What else do you need to know?
Thanks, man.
Did we establish that he's dead? I thought he was missing.
Dead.
No. They found his body. The Tabaxi girl was there, and that's the one thing we probably should bring up. It's like, well, your associate, the Tabaxi girl,
Was literally, like, found him, was sitting in his office sobbing with the police.
and the last person him alive.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah. What's up with the Tabaxi?
The Tabaxi seems to, she gets around. Seems to have her paws in all sorts of nefarious, shady things. What do you want to know about her?
So you're saying it's her fault?
I'm not saying it's my fault. That's what I'm saying.
You may have helped the situation. Mikage's just in the background. She's gonna go through the office and just kind of look around while y'all are interrogating and just listen in to what y'all are saying.
So we saw the Tabaxi asleep at her residence, and then we saw her here as well. What's going on there?
I don't know anything about where this cat lives, but all I know is that we've been dealing with her for quite some time.
What business do you have with her?
Let's just say she's been a liaison between us and some higher-ups.
Which higher ups?
If you don't know who I'm talking about, then maybe you aren't cut out for this type of thing.
Ori gets another flame. She's gonna light his pant leg on fire. Just a little bit. And be like, give us some damn answers. She's still on 1 hit point. She's not about this.
A couple ideas.
He's starting to freak out a little bit, knowing that he's like covered in, in alcohol. He's like, whoa, wait, chill.
She's gonna stamp it out. She stamps it out. Be like, all right, talk.
Well, if I have to spell it out for you people, she's working for the government.
Okay.
More detail, please.
Oh, I really have to spell it out for you people, don't I?
You really thought.
Yeah.
Do we have anything that could like record what he's saying? Is there like a memo dictator thing like just lying around? Because being that he is a businessman, I'm sure he's recorded other people in conversations to catch them into shady stuff.
Oh, okay. Give me 1 second. So I'm gonna take out the locket around my neck and open it. Be
Okay.
like, hey, are you there? Hello.
You hear a voice come back from you, and the voice replies like, Ori, is that you? Ori, is that you? It's been so long since I've heard from you. What's up?
Hey, yeah, some shit's happened. Would you mind getting a piece of paper and a pen or something and just jotting down some stuff for me real quick?
He's like, yes, of course, hold on. You hear some
Oh,
shuffling going on. You hear some noise, but then afterwards you hear her come back. It's like, okay, I've got it. What do you need me to write down?
Okay, so just have a little listen to this. And I'll hold the locket out. I'll be like, all right, Umak, talk.
Okay. You see Umak start, he's always obviously very upset. At the same time, too, you do start to see him, like, beads of sweat start to come down from his brow now. And he's like, if I tell you this, I need to get out of here. These people are dangerous. She's been working for the Council of Defense.
Okay. We know who heads that. Okay, so what other pies has she dipped her paw into?
If I tell you, you have to release me and let me escape from here. If whatever I tell you I will not come out this alive if they find out this came from me.
How about this? There's some docks somewhere over here. If you tell us some stuff, we will put you on one of those boats, go into a different country. You will go, and you will never be seen again.
That's fine. Just as long as you can promise my safety. If I tell you this, they will kill me. So I must get out.
Make sure he gives us anything that can verify it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we'll put him on the boat after we're good and ready.
Are you saying that out loud, or are you guys?
I'm gonna say it out loud.
No,
Oh, okay.
I said, I want to make sure we verify it.
Absolutely, we're gonna put you on the boat when we're good and ready. We will put you on the boat, but we're gonna get what we need first.
I need my security promised here. If I'm putting my neck out on the line for this, and I'm telling you what I will tell you, then you need to promise me I'm getting out safe.
Yeah, sure, promise. If you're banished, that's good enough for me, essentially.
He kind of sighs a bit. There's not much else to be done here. The Council of Defense has been systematically taking out tieflings. These high-profile assassinations you heard, they're no random thing. The Council's been spying on these tieflings Apparently tampering with sending stones or something like that. As far as I know, they've been taking out tieflings one by one as soon as things are, let's say, they're tying up loose ends. I'm afraid what happened to your father, while fortuitous for us, because we want that deal, I'm sorry to say he may be another victim of the council.
So it's governmental. Department of Defense.
They're the only ones with the means to tamper with sending stones, as far as I know. You can't just do that normally.
What other proof do you... So Mikage is listening. She's asked, what other proof do you have that it's the ministry besides your word? Because we've heard these conspiracy theories already. What can you give us that will prove it?
They work in the shadows and the secrets. Unfortunately, the Tabaxi girl was my one connection to them. Our job was just to find the tieflings, find out what they were up to, tail them or so. But who took them out, that wasn't our business. We didn't deal in those high-level killings.
And where can we find the Tabaxi? She ran. Where is she?
As far as I know, we had one meeting spot or so. Well, there was two. There was here. She came to meet us here first. And we were just about to discuss something of importance before you guys came in and barged in, disrupted our meeting. So I don't know what she was going to say. But there is a small hideout where we would sometimes meet up in order to ascertain information and share details.
Address, please.
He begrudgingly kind of like gives you the details of a small hideout of where it is that they oftentimes meet.
And what were you going to discuss? We know you don't have her side, but what were you going to discuss?
I don't have any information on that one. Supposedly something big is going down. Some high order from the council that would have been good to know. But I have whatever details where we couldn't find that out until you idiots came and barged in and disrupted our meeting.
You're welcome.
So Bodhi was the one that's also on the defense, right?
He's the head of
Yeah.
the Council of Defense. Yes, correct.
So we know that his sketchy shit is a part of this sketchy shit.
But is there any way that we can tie Bodhi directly to this sketchy shit? Because the government, the people that we have working in the government, being your brother, the prime minister, and even Shadow, Smallfoot.
Oh yeah, your brother is also like in the defense war stuff.
He's in the military, so he's, foot soldier or like one level above. He's not up on Bodhi's level.
Yeah, he's for the government more a soldier than anything else. But the thing is, he does have access to information that would be different than, and he can start looking into certain things because he's not like the low level butcher. He's kind of like slightly medium.
He's like an officer.
He's one of the, rich boys that's given a title specifically because he's a little rich boy that wanted to go into the military. So,
but he could be a way to get information or just to make him aware of what's going on because he needs to kind of see what's happening. He's kind of in denial, especially.
I think he probably knows some general stuff. But if they are systematically taking out tieflings, as we kind of know that they are now, he's either going to be turned to, the mole to go into our stuff and, figure shit out, or he's going to die. So, they're going to kill him eventually, but...
It would be great if we can get some evidence so that we can show your brother, like, It would be great if we could like record this as well, like
with actual, vocals.
Umag, do you have any proof of this? We sort of needed to stop it.
Unfortunately, everything I have is all word of mouth. Everything we did was always by whatever the Tabaxi told us to do. Now, we were paid, but all of these numbers are just cash under the table, of course. They paid handsomely, which is why we helped them out the way we did, but we don't have that. However, if you want something, I think that Tabaxi kept a diary or a ledger with her at all times. So, you might find, if you might twist your arm a bit or something, you might find something there.
I am going to hobble over to that back room and just kind of look around. Let me know what I see.
Pan, you've been very stoic and quiet in all this. What's your character thinking? What's your character doing right now?
I mean, I'm just listening right now. I haven't really had any. Yeah, like I'm just listening. I don't really have any input yet. Everything seems to be going the way I would ask anyways. So I'm just like, yeah. I'm the yes man.
Did we know
You're an intimidation tactic.
That's right. I have that. What's it? The bodyguard where they cross their arms like in front of their crotch. You know, like the low wrist grip. Like they hold one wrist.
Question, is there, obviously she's using the visage of the secretary Tabaxi. I'm betting dollars to donuts that's not her actual form. Type of magic that we know, like people who can shapeshift easily. Or is there like special like gems and stones that need to be purchased to do that?
Oh, it's Bodhi. It's almost certainly Bodhi.
I mean, I feel like he would get people to do his dirty work for him.
I mean, he could probably give like the ability to change the shape to other people. I mean, that's what I'm trying to ask because I don't. Except for I think one instance, I don't remember. I came in halfway through the campaign, so I'm not 100%. I'm not 100% sure what his limitations are.
Hey, Umag, have you seen the Tabaxi and Bodhi in like in like a time-wise close proximity or at the same time?
I've never seen them together. If anything, Bodhi has always been at some distance or so. Though I wouldn't put it past him. At the same time, he's been head of the Council of Defense for as long as I can recall. So while I can't put it past him, at the same time I can't for certain say that it's him either. However, there have been rumors that he has more things up his sleeve than what he lets on.
That we already know.
Have you met him before?
No, he seems like such a nice fellow, quite honestly, and quite frankly, they don't let people of my ilk into, the country club. So that's why we have our own group here.
Country club?
Country club, fancy soiree. It's whatever these hoity-toity people do.
I'm trying to remember that Tiefling country club.
Yeah, is it the same one? I don't remember the name.
No, not them. They have their own thing. In fact, they were probably actually surveilled even harder than some of the other ones. It's probably where they found out a lot of these tieflings that were eliminated.
We may want to let other tieflings know to. Well, I mean, we're trying to get everyone out of the city, but I have a feeling it may not be Bodhi, but at least there is probably a magic or a stone or something that does allow someone to take on the form of others. I wonder if there's a way to track that kind of stuff, but the girl did not have anything distinguishable on her person that I could see as we were running.
I'm gonna pop my head out of the back room and ask, Umok, where are your bank statements?
He kind of laughs. Bank statement. Huh.
Some things must have been legal, okay? Where are the legal bank statements? I know that you have under-the-counter cash shit, but, you know, you gotta buy liquor, you gotta buy normal shit. Where are they?
And those get taxed.
Oh, you'll have to ask my accountant about that. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. He's here dead, thanks to you guys.
Yeah. Boo-hoo.
You hear some stuttering on the other end, Ori, from Famda. She starts coming. I think I know something about a transformation spell. I think I've heard of from some time ago. I can give you.
Famda, I love you. Tell us about this.
It's quite rare. I think I've heard of it or so, but it takes quite a bit of time and effort to do. However, I think that there are a few that might be able to do it, but I don't know who. But what's this I hear about? Did I hear you right about the Council of Defense?
Yes, we're talking about them. Got any insight about that?
And you said something about a name of
Bodhi?
someone?
Bodhi?
Oh. Don't know anything about him. Okay, I gotta go, Famda. Okay, I'll talk to you later.
Oh, no, Famda. Wait, no, don't go.
That's not suspicious.
And then the message just kind of cuts out, and you don't hear any. You don't get a sense of anything going on the other side.
Damn it. I'll put the locket back, but Famda, we're gonna talk about this later.
So if it's rare, it takes time and effort. It probably isn't something that's easily switched off and on. So it's probably the same form she probably uses for a while. But we do have to be aware that, you know, she could technically turn it off and look like her normal self, or him or her.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Okay, at this part, Umok's starting to get restless. He's like, "Is there anything else you want? Otherwise, untie me. Let me get out of here. Already, I've said enough."
What else do we need from this bitch?
Let's rob him for what little gold he has and put him on the boat.
Yeah, I think so. I'm gonna hobble over to the bars area and just kind of rummage through, see what I can find. What do I find?
You find random assortments of alcohol. You confirm indeed that the top shelf and the bottom shelf are basically exactly the same. So.
You cut out
Oh
Say
no!
that again.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
the top shelf.
Okay. You rummage through. You find various expensive and inexpensive alcohol throughout the bar. You confirm that whatever was on the bottom shelf was also on the top shelf too, so they're essentially the same, except just marked differently. You just see a price tag of one is like more expensive than the other, but even though they're exactly the same alcohol. And then you find.
I'm like, do it.
Fraud.
It would be. We could take some liquor for further Molotov cocktails. It's.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna put any of the little mini bottles that I can find in my bag of holding.
Well, the bag of holding, it can hold quite a lot, so we could put like quite a lot, right?
We could put like the big bottles too. Any of the Bacardi 151, I would like to stuff into my bag of holding. Because that's very flammable stuff.
Is the Bacardi 151 actually just the same stuff as all the rest of it?
Because it lit his pant leg on fire, it's good enough for me.
Hey, Pan, go ahead, roll a perception check real fast.
Okay.
All of them.
Or like Ori and Pan or whoever, yeah.
Okay, give me a second.
Can you roll mine? I stepped away.
Oh yeah, sure, I'll do it. I'll just stick with Ori's. I'll use roll for 14. Okay, that's good. Ori, you recognize that all the alcohol is basically just Bacardi 151, except some is watered down and some is, not. So, except with just different labels on each one or so.
Whatever I smell is the strongest Bacardi 151, I'm stuffing in my bag.
Okay. So now you've
How
got
many bottles is that?
three bottles of Bacardi 151.
3. Okay.
You got
good,
3
good
of
deal.
those.
Anything else over there?
Pass one to me.
Yeah, I'll take some, some Molotov cocktail-esque bottles as well. Like,
Other stuff.
yeah.
I'll hold out my bag of holding.
As much as I can fit, as much as I can find.
I'll hold out my bag of holdings. Just ask when you want it.
And
I gotcha.
Just dump that stuff in there. Okay. And in addition to that, you've also got about 27 gold pieces. And let's see.
Cool.
Where's my other things? I
I'm
think it's
gonna
about
go try to find the safe. I'm going to just see where, I'm gonna look in the office. We didn't check the back rooms, so I want to go check those rooms as well. These over here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Feel free to go ahead and do so.
So I'm gonna go in here. Do I see? Gonna open this.
And click on it. You can just move your character in there.
Yeah. Do I see any safe or anything?
You don't see any safes. You see a cupboard. Again, the room is mostly torched thanks to your Molotov cocktails or so. You see the remnants of the dead treant that's there, and aside from a few unconscious dead bodies of the orcs, there is a drawer that is made of wood, unfortunately. It is torched. You are finding half-singed pieces of paper for the most part. The fire's been kind of put out, but there are half-singed pieces of paper in there that you can ruffle through if you'd like.
Ruffle.
Yeah, I'll ruffle through them.
As you look through the papers or so, you notice that it is more or less just dealings that they've had going to, since they've been in business. They go back, quite a ways or so. And you're noticing that there are several of these partnerships that have high-ranking tiefling names on them.
Can I to mend it?
Can you mend it? Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can do that.
Okay. 1 second.
Well, does mending fix burn things? That's a good question. Does mending fix burn things?
Okay. Well,
You know what? Let me look that up real fast. That's a really good question.
Google.
Does mend spell fix burned items? I know on burnt objects. Burn can be termed as warped or otherwise transmuted or not. If it is, I'm gonna go with no. I don't think that would work. So let's go with no in this case. It could fix something broken, if the drawer was broken and it was jammed or something, you could fix it that way, or a pair of glasses that were broken. But in this case, because it's been altered from its original, original state to another type of thing, then it's not gonna fly. So no.
Gather the pieces, just in case. Put them in the bag. I still got lots of room.
we can always tape it together, what's left of it.
Yeah.
Okay. So what else are y'all doing?
Well, okay, so I'm gonna go talk to Umak and say, I've noticed. So you've been dealing with tieflings for quite a while. How is this affecting your business? Are you getting more or less? Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know. What are your thoughts on all this?
Let's just say that we've been the fortunate benefactor of some of these accidents happening to these tieflings. It doesn't always end up that way, but that's kind of, we've been lucky. Let's put it that way.
You just hear me mutter under my breath while I'm searching stuff. Dickbag.
You see him just kind of crack a smile a little bit as he hears you say that. Business is business. All's fair in love and war. Little Tiefler. This is just the reality of the world. That's what happens. I don't make the rules. I just
You're still a dickbag.
It's like the reality of the world. You're about to get your nails ripped out of your hand. So I would probably shut up unless it's something useful.
Is there a bookcase over here in this little area? Is that a bookcase? What is that?
it is a bookcase.
I'm just gonna want to go look. Anything interesting in there, or is it all standard shit?
You look through the books. They have a lot of legalese titles, but when you open them up, they're all just blank pieces of paper.
I'm gonna literally laugh out loud and like wave one at Umag.
It's like, hey, those are ornamental, okay?
Just like you.
So what's in this room that we're in right now?
Pan and Dave, you're looking about. They are kind of like living quarters for a lot of the orcs. You're going to find an assortment of weapons, like small knives and great axes and that type of thing, kind of tucked away.
I want a knife. You can have the great axes. I can't pick one up, but I want a little knife.
Did we establish that the sword that we're looking for is with my barbarian tribe, or is that still up? Like,
I feel like that's a most likely.
Yeah.
Like since we haven't, like, as far as I know, gone to hang out with them for a while, we don't know for sure, but it's a most likely kind of thing.
Okay.
It's based off of
Well,
Littlefoot said.
Mm-mm.
Tanston Springfoot. There you go.
Springfoot. Okay. Sorry.
There you go. And Ori, I gave you a dagger. It's a fairly particularly well-made dagger as well. Okay.
Yay.
I like it. I'm straight up gonna start searching the like pots that the plants are in. I'm just gonna start looking in random corners. Do I find literally anything? Even if it's absolute, like, not important stuff.
You start shuffling through, and the facade of a beautiful professional workplace starts falling, detail by detail. The plants are all, fake plants. You pull out more books, and it's just like really fancy titles, but at the same time, all just empty. Even the cups, like they look ornate and glass, but you actually pick them up, and they're just like cheap plastic or so. So just the bit
I like to
as you
toss them behind me, pull out the fake plant, toss it on the floor. Just gonna disrespect his place.
I'm gonna look underneath this carpet because there's a big defense sign and it's probably nothing, but want to see if it's something.
As you lift up that giant rug underneath, you turn it over, you do see a hidden compartment. As you lift open the compartment, you'll find inside just a cache of just lots of weapons. Now, mind you, they're not as nice as yours, but it just kind of goes to show like what they're really in business of. You're finding like brass knuckles and knives and swords and daggers and axes and that type of thing, and so all kind of hidden underneath to kind of again give the perception of a professional business. However, to kind of showing their colors a little bit more of what they really do.
Umag, what's your
What you got here?
what you got here? Why are you?
Those were there before I got here. I just kept them there.
Mm-hmm.
They were the previous tenant or so, from what I've been told.
Question, Mark. How did you were ready to meet the Tabaxi if you had to go to her?
Say that one more time.
How did he? I mean, he had the meeting place, but how did he? If he needed to get in touch with her with information, how did he do it?
Normally we wouldn't. She'd call us to meet there. So it's usually a one-way street. Oftentimes she would come to us or let us know that we needed to meet up and we'd meet there.
And how would she let you know?
Oftentimes, quite frankly, we'd, have one of my henchmen be knocked out and just happen to have a note right next to him. So Wasn't always the most elegant way about it, but it got the job done.
Just
Right.
like
Point of respect to her.
I mean, it's pretty impressive, given that she's a tabaxi, was able to knock out my men without them so much as even knowing that she was around.
I bet.
That's funny.
I suggest we all get a very long rest and then continue the hunt.
Okay.
On these comfortable beds.
Okay, so I was gonna say someone would have to keep watch on Umag. I don't trust him. Can we kind of shove him into a cargo box and
Can
be
we-
like, "You'll be on your way soon"?
Let's put him in a cargo box, bring him over to your house, have the two oofuses outside carry him over for
Yes. This is your fortune,
at
my
your
two guards.
and then go from there. And you can just have someone like a carrier just pick him up in the box. Just make sure you put a hole for him to breathe.
Oh, I'm thinking one of those like straight up the big metal boxes that go on cargo ships.
Like a cargo container?
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
first bring that down the street. We need him at least.
Right.
He's probably a fairly large guy.
So I was gonna say, everyone find something to stuff him in.
The
Maybe
thing-
I don't know. Maybe knock him out again.
The thing
I'm
under the
not
rug.
like hiding this. I'm not hiding this from him. I'm
Okay.
saying someone find someone to stuff him in. Maybe knock him out. We'll go talk to the guys.
Hey, you guys promised me safety.
Yeah,
Well,
you're gonna be safe, but you're gonna be unconscious. Now shut up.
You talk to him, you're gonna get yourself cut.
So I'm gonna go out to the front to the two guys. What do I see them doing? Are they still there?
You don't see them, actually. If anything, you see two shoes that are left over in the front, and they're gone.
Whoopsie. That's okay.
Let's just
You know?
pray. There's a couple over here in the back. Just put him in one of the wood boxes. Dave and I could probably carry him a fair bit, and we'll just trade off the pan.
So to say, find one of the biggest wood crates because he's a big boy. Stuff him in. Let's just put him in a shipping container. Lock that bitch, and then I want to pat it on the side and be like, "Have a nice rest. You'll be gone in the morning."
Okay. And I think this is a good place to stop it because we're at 12:54, 12:55 right now. So I think we're at a good stopping place. And I'm also going to ask, I guess, what are you guys planning on next now? Like, what are y'all thinking of going next?
So my recommendation is first we get a long rest at Ori's place, and then from Ori's place, I guess we're going to just continue on with finding out what's going on with the Ministry of Defense. But we do eventually need to go to Dave's clan, and we do eventually need to go to my village, because if we can prove that it is something with the Ministry of Defense, we kind of need to be ready because they're in league with what's his name from the other side, and Fira. Brain can't brain today. So we need to have that's going to work against them instead of just clawing at, the stone wall.
I would probably go to Ori's brother, since we have somebody in, the defense, even if he is a low officer, maybe like he can sneak around, like he's got access to, like, defense buildings, maybe he's got a key card or a key, stuff that we could use.
But remember, he has drank the Kool-Aid. He believes in the cause, even though he's the closest sibling Ori has. He may not cooperate.
But don't we also, now that we've talked with Famda,
Famda.
she's acted a little sus. Now, she could just be nervous because she knows the name and she knows how high ranking he is.
Mm-hmm.
But that could be another line of information.
That's fair.
Um,
Definitely gonna talk to her later. Be like, hey, sus.
we have the list. Should we look into those names to give them protection? Or
We should at least figure out who they all are.
Mhm.
So I
I
say,
could go and talk to as many animals as possible, like mice and whatever, and see if they saw like a tabaxi come by.
oh yeah, you can
know,
kind of track her.
yeah, like I could like as I go, just talk to as many as I can and find where she is.
So we should probably like after taking a rest because I think we desperately need it. We should probably first see like if we can figure out where the tabaxi went / go check out her hideout that we have the address to. That's like number one on our laundry list of things to do. And then probably there's a lot of options after that.
So if we go to the hideout, you could probably, that would be best because the hideout critters around there probably have seen her come and go.
Right. So we'll do that. Should we start making our way north to the Barbarian clan, or south to your village, to Mikage's village? What do we need first?
The sword is to defeat the evilness, so
We should probably get that ASAP.
yeah.
If my information on it, they can explain it. So
I wonder if we get it and then bring it to your village, and then they can tell us about it.
yeah, that's
Yeah. So we'll make our way in a general sense. Who knows how many more sessions we'll need to get there. But in a general sense, we'll make
we've
our
got
way
horses.
north.
We've got horses as well.
Horses.
Yes.
you have a we could leave the chimera with your barbarian horde. I don't know.
Yeah.
We
She's
still
a
have-
nice lady.
Mhm.
Chimeriana Grande is a nice one. So, as long as we trust the people in your horde, because I'm very emotionally attached to her.
We need to feed her. She's probably getting hungry.
Ooh, okay, Kenneth. Make a note. Can we grab another crate and put some of the dead bodies in it as a snacky for Chimeriana?
Let's not get caught with a bunch of dead bodies, though. I will deny knowing y'all.
Fair point.
So
You know what? I can put the crate, and we find like a wagon or whatever, attach it to a horse, and tell the horse where to go. And I don't know how we're gonna tell the so like we won't be seen with it, but like we can like get it to the chimera. Maybe maybe she will like sort of sense that don't eat the horse but eat the dead things inside.
I was
don't
gonna
know.
say the horse can always pull up, leave the cart, and then take off. So she's like, "Ooh, I smell dead bodies." Snacky.
Can I make? Because the horse can't unhitch itself. I'm sorry, but that is not a very easy thing for the horse to be able to do.
We'll put like a little rope in its bridle. And then just let go.
Why don't we send the horse ahead of us and we'll meet up with the horse and then we'll take it from there. Because
I won't tell the horse that there's a chimera, but I'm just like, just when you get there, just
drop and run.
Just drop and run.
the thing is, if the horse brings the thing, it's going to be in the chimera, and I don't think the horse is going to go that close to the chimera. I think we need to just say.
But as soon as the horse sees the chimera, he is going to drop whatever he has and run. So.
This is like the best conversation, by the way, guys. Like, this is great. Like, in terms of like logically, like, how are we gonna feed this chimera with horses that we don't get close to it, with dead bodies that we don't want to get caught with? It's fantastic.
I wonder.
Big brain thinking, right? We're good. I love it.
I wonder if I can find. if one of the bodyguards took off, if we can find the bodyguard and be like, listen, here's what's gonna happen to you if you don't take these dead bodies over to this one place. We promise you'll be fine. Here's a bunch of gold. Once you finish this delivery, you will be set free. You know? I wonder if we could hire one.
This person, because, like I said, but
you know, if they're used to doing sketchy stuff, this is probably not that big a deal. And if they're getting paid, and we're telling them like we promise the chimera won't eat you as long as you leave this crate for it
within its reach,
just go up, you know, shove it forward, and then take off, and you'll be fine. And then you can leave with the gold, and you'll be fine.
So what I'm hearing right now is you guys gonna next time take a rest at Ori's place, and then you're gonna priorities wise like find out more about the Council of Defense, or really go and find the Tabaxi, kind of track her down, right? And then you also want to try and feed the chimera with the dead bodies that you have on you, and how to go about it, that's still TBD, right?
TBD.
Right.
So we gotta, I'd say like send someone out to feed the chimera first after our rest. Find the Tabaxi, and then do whatever else we need to do before heading up to the Barbarian clan.
Okay.
What do we think?
I'm fine with
Yeah, it works.
Yeah. I would maybe, well, I guess like just talking to your brother, like there's a reason he's there. Like you know, I don't know, like maybe he's got something that we could have.
Worst case, if he
We
doesn't
could
want
also
to
knock him
cooperate.
unconscious and get some keys or something.
Okay, maybe not unconscious. Maybe I could just steal them from him without him knowing.
That's fair. Yeah.
You know?
Alrighty.
He's still my favorite brother, so maybe we won't injure him.
Okay.
All right.
But you know, if he trusts me, he won't necessarily think I'll steal his keys.
All right, let's
He'll
finish
know.
up with a quick
I wasn't the
retro.
problem child.
Let's finish up with a quick retro,
Oh, right.
and then afterwards, go ahead.
I said
Megan?
he'll know like, as soon as the keys go missing. Like, damn it, Ori, come on.
Okay, we'll start off with a quick retro to finish this up because I want to respect everyone's time here. So, Samad, real quick, like, love, learn, lack.
I thought it was fun getting information about how the fight ended without us really getting to talk to Umok and figure out where we're going. So I thought it was good. Nice and short. There was no like. I mean, it wasn't the best. It wasn't the worst. It was just like good.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much, Sean. Like, love, learn, lack.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun just like you know, getting information and thinking about, you know, ways to get these dead bodies across. I'm also picturing just like a horse like walking by itself with a cart behind it, you know, like don't mind me. Just, you know,
Just
kind
so
of like it's kind of like seeing a car going down the street without a driver, and everybody will be like, what, you know?
there is a horse
Sketchy.
in not where in the Europe it was, but basically it's been walking itself for the last 15 years. It just goes out in the morning and it makes rounds in a village, and it walks by itself, no person, and it just says hi to everybody, and everyone's just like, it's May, it's the horse.
I
And
like
there's
it. I like it. All right, Megan, how about you? Like, love, learn, lack.
really enjoyed the session because, you know, very much theater of the mind. It gives us a good idea for setup for the next couple of episodes. Let's see, learned we have priorities, and how we go about these priorities always varies. And so it's interesting to see the different solutions to feed Chimera. Other, because each person has a little, it's like some people, like I do a little bit more like, okay, what are the physical logistics of this? And then some people are just like, yeah, this should be easy. It's like, this might be more complicated than it looks. But I enjoy things like that. It allows for dialogue between everyone. It allows everyone to, you know, enjoy kind of the role play about it, and has an input. Lacked, I mean, we shortened the the session so that way the theater of the mind would be condensed in. So I don't really feel there's anything lacking for this session because it didn't go too long and wasn't like there wasn't any like drag or downtime. So
Cool, thank you. And Rachel, please. Like, love, learn, laugh.
I like that it's almost expected that we'd be like, all right, how do we feed the chimera? Because I feel like a lot of groups would not focus on like, we now have a semi-pet chimera. We've got to feed her, obviously. But also, how do we save the animals and or hire a sketchy henchman to do our bidding? I love that. That's great. I had a lot of fun with the theater of the mind. Last time was mostly battle, and I like battle and I have fun, but switching it up every so often is also fun. I liked getting to completely disrespect the Umok's place and pour Bacardi 151 on him. That was a good time. I mean, lacking like it's a little theater of the mind session. I think it's totally good. No lacking. I learned that this world has Bacardi 151 in it, which means there has to be Bacardi, the company. So maybe we'll do something with that later.
This world has all sorts of things in it. So, okay, cool. Well, awesome, guys. Thank you so much.
sorry, what's that creature that we fought getting the chimera that's like on the loose? Does anyone remember that?
The bullet? Is that what it
Yeah,
is?
the bull running around, guys.
I need to check if it's still there because I know it got summoned by the magic bean, but is it like magical in the sense that it is permanently summoned, or is it like a temporary thing, like it's there for an hour or something? So
I was gonna say, doesn't all of that stuff disappear after 24
I
hours?
think so.
I don't think it specifies for everything because the ensign stuff, we've never considered it like disappearing after it. That's one of the reasons why we didn't want it just kind of running through the city. I mean, granted, it'll probably, eventually just, wander out, but
The treant, that's true. There's no timeline for that. The bullet.
you cut out.
Oh, I'm sorry. The treant, let's see. It does not have a timeline, nor shriekers. You know what? It doesn't, actually. So there is no timeline. Well, let me see. Did you dump it back?
In Ori's opinion, not our problem.
It's being produced in effect 1 minute later from the ground. Yeah, it does not say a timeline or a time span of how long it stays in effect. So I guess it's permanent. So yeah, technically there's probably a bullet running around doing its
So in
thing.
Ori's opinion, it's not our problem unless we're actively fighting it.
All right.
And knowing our luck. But anyway, Mikage is used to wild creatures and things like that and like these kinds of things. So she's just like, we're going to run into these things again. And we've been lucky. Mostly it's not our problem after a little bit, but
Well, it's a big city. There's a lot of people it's terrorizing right now. It's
but I mean, what was it? 6 guards last time and it barely was phased.
You know what?
Sure.
Some people deserve it. I'm pissed off at the whole everyone hates tieflings thing, so not that worried.
All right, that's fair.
No, just both ends, please. Let's try a. Mikage's all down for like putting down a threat, but
Someone will take care of it.
All right, guys, I'm going to cut off the recording. So thank you for anyone who's going to be listening to this in the future, and we'll tune in next time.